ever wondered how we get our craft projects to look so clean and professional? Today I'm going to show you all the studio tips and tricks that we've taught thousands of makers over the years. They're going to make the biggest difference in your crafts, so let's dive in. Our first tip is really helpful when you have small little pieces that you need to paint and you don't want to be having to hold them. So we take a strip of painter's tape and you fold the edges and put the sticky side up, and then tape it right side up like that, and then you can place your words on that tape like that, and then when you go to paint, you're just going to paint the tops of them, and it's much easier than trying to hold each piece. Our second tip is really great when you have engraved lines in your wood, and as you're starting to paint, the paint goes inside of those grooves. One of the things you can do is take either a tool like this that's available on Amazon, or a toothpick. Just an ordinary everyday toothpick will work as well. So once you've got the whole thing painted and you see that those lines are filled with paint, you can take the end of the toothpick and just gently clean it out, and then your lines will show up again. It's a great tip. You can also use like a straight pin will work, a paper clip, anything with a pointed sharp edge will help you keep those lines cleaned out and get that sharp professional look. Okay, our third tip has to do with painting our projects. You can use a simple paper plate to squirt the paint on, or you can use one of these little palettes that you can get at either the dollar store, Amazon, or even the craft stores. And they just allow you to have just a tiny bit of paint, a little easier than getting it out of the bottle. Then you want to just take a tiny bit of paint, the littlest, tiniest bit, not very much. If you get too much paint and you go to paint the wood, it'll ooze off the sides and won't give you as clean and professional a look. So just a tiny, tiny bit of paint, and then just barely paint the tops of them, like so. And I like to turn it and do the other side. And you will have to do probably 2 coats of most colors of paint. When you do whites, we recommend doing 3 to 4 coats of white to get a really bright white finish. Also, you can prime your wood with a little bit of gray if you feel so, or even any light color before you put the white on, and it'll kind of help prime it as well. So that's tip number 3. Our fourth tip is creating a distressed look like this without lots of sanding. It's super easy. You're going to take just a little bit of paint or stain, use a bristly brush like this and put just a little bit on that, and then dab most of it off on a paper towel like so. And then you're going to create short, light brush strokes over your project to get that really sanded finished look. I can show you on the back what I mean. Just a really light touch. Less is more. You can always add more. So that is tip number 4 to create a distressed look. The key is really in the brush and just a little bit of paint and dabbing most of it off on the paper towel. Tip number 5 is when you are gluing these together. You can see that those are glued together and this one is not. After you put your Mod Podge on the back of it and you go to glue it on, sometimes it doesn't stay as tight as you'd like. So binder clips like this work really great to just clamp on there and put on each end, and then leave it there for that glue to dry, and that will hold it together so that you don't have that separation on the sides, and it will be nice and tight. So binder clips work great. So there you have it, our top tips and tricks for having a very professional product. If you have any other questions and need more tips and tricks, let me know in the comments which ones you're concerned about. We'll see you next time.